turn on a little more light on the subject. Welcome. How are you? How was your day? I don't know if I can do this. Hold, please. I hope it was good. There. Now we can see a little bit better. Although, yeah. This kind of describes how my day was. A little crazy. There we go. But good. Was yours useful? Some days we just are a little bit, yeah. Some days that's what we need to do is just take a deep breath. I digress though. Welcome. My name is Amy. I am your hope slinger, and I have that name is given to me 7 years ago as I was at rock bottom of my life, and I knew that I had a long climb out. And at some point, I began to see the light, and I just kept on climbing. And I had a dear friend say, you know what? For the first time in a long time, you actually seem like you have hope again. You are very hopeful. She said, I can just see you slinging that hope everywhere. And I said, hope slinger. That's it. So that's just a little bit. I had not told that story yet. I had not shared that with you. That's why Hope Slinger, that's how it came to be. That's how I came to be. And so what we are doing here on this channel is it is a channel everyone is invited. We are all about encouraging each other, lifting each other up, challenging each other to think, to reason, and yet to discover things together. Now, I don't know, that doesn't appeal to everybody. Some people do enjoy the masses, and maybe you don't want to have to think for yourself, and that is certainly an option. However, if you do enjoy learning about new things, I would say welcome aboard. Hello, 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 welcome. And this is the vehicle that we are going to have this discussion around. This is the vehicle that we are going to go and hopefully get to know each other a little bit better, form this little community. For the next 7 weeks, we are going to look at one verse. Sorry, it's late. The word escaped me. One verse. And it is Galatians 6:9. So there you go. We're going to pick a verse from the Bible and we're going to take a look at it. And it is a very encouraging verse. And it's also a little bit easy to understand, and yet some days very difficult to walk it out. And all we're going to do is take a look at it. And we're going to see if there could be anything that can apply to us today to help us. Okay. So that's what we're all about. That's it. And I'm calling this little adventure, one verse, one voice. This is my maiden voyage into something so extended on YouTube. This is a new format for me, so I appreciate your grace and your patience. I do think, though, if you hang around and if you are respectfully open to learning about good things, I think that you will thoroughly enjoy our time together. Every night or every day during the week, usually we'll take weekends off, but this is what we're doing until the 1st of October. Yep. And so let me read said verse, okay? And like I said, this is from Galatians 6:9, and it is from the New King James Version. I'm just reading my dad's, like my father's Bible, because it means so much to me, and I just lost him. We're coming up on his year anniversary of transitioning. And so, yeah, it means a lot. It means a lot to know that he studied the same pages and made notes and poured his heart into the same thing. So anyway, here we go. Galatians 6:9. Use whichever version you want, or if you don't even have a Bible, congratulations. Let me read it to you. How's that? You're still welcome. 6:9. And let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart. And so what we started with is just looking, we're breaking it down very, very simply. I mean, very simply, my friends, word by word. What does this phrase mean? We're even going to take a look at the context, which is so important. It really is helpful to know like who was writing this and to what people. So anyway, we'll talk about that too. There's a ton to unpack is what I'm saying. We will have no problem in making it until the month of the 1st of October. Okay. So hello. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. So we looked at this first part of being a command, and we talked about kind of in our first week of how you react when someone tells you don't do something. I mean, if we're going to be honest, sometimes we just go into the opposite. Okay, I won't throw you under the bus. I have done that in my life. If someone has said, don't touch the wet paint, but maybe over here, maybe I could just test it over there, right? So in looking at how some of the translations have even started off, it was interesting that we discussed maybe even that is off-putting. Off-putting. Some people it wouldn't bother to just be commanded. Some of the versions just say, do not grow weary. That's pretty cut and dried, self-explanatory. Other ones say, don't allow yourself to become weary. That's even a little different thing. It's like, oh, now we have a personal responsibility not to allow ourselves to become weary. Some of them said, so don't grow tired. Don't grow weary. So here, even in just those first few words of this verse, it's interesting to me that that we kind of discussed the difference and how even just how we speak and the words that come out can be perceived by people that can either be, ugh, I don't know, I don't want anything to do with that, or they can be inviting. So what we did yesterday that I asked you to think about, and if you're just hearing about it, you can think about it right now. But I said, what about when you hear the word weary? Okay, what do you think of? So I looked at the definition. Words are difficult tonight because I have to say I'm weary, and there you go. That is the point I'm making tonight. It has been a long day. I've seen a lot of clients. We had a little minor emergency that we had to go take care of, like things. So physically, that was one of the definitions of weary, is physically or mentally tired. Okay. So that definitely is some of us in the natural, okay? But there was also like weary as it pertains to how we even face people, how we look, like if our smile like even seems tired, or our face seems tired. It can even have an expression of how we interact with people. But here, this is the one I wanted you to think about too. Those are pretty easy to understand. But then that third one, it said when your forbearance and when your indulgence have worn out, and your interest, when your interest, your forbearance, and your indulgence have just worn out. That was actually the third definition of weary. That was like a whole thing. And I said, do any of those describe like a little bit on a deeper level of when you think about weary? I know for me, I had never thought of it, but like when you just are too tired to care. Have we talked about that? Is that too real? I know, like none of you would ever be like that. Like I know that you're all very caring individuals on here. Um, but there are times that summed it up. It's like your interest level, like you just are tired. You are worn out from caring, right? Okay, so that was the first. That was the first of that definition that I had never heard before. I had never seen that. But then the second one was that forbearance. And I asked if any of you still had student loans. And I went to school very late and did get my degree at the tender age of 40. So, yeah, I'm going to have student loans, probably in the nursing home, I'm thinking at this point. But you know, when things get tough, one of the options is to do a forbearance with those, which just means you're not taking care of the debt, you're just pushing it off, right? You cannot deal with it. Like you are worn out from it. You cannot deal with it. You physically cannot make that payment. So maybe that applies more to your weariness. But then there was also a third one, and it was when your indulgence is worn out. Are you a people pleaser? How rude of me to ask such a personal question. I know, but I feel like we're getting to know each other here. I can do that, maybe. We're friends here. Indulgence. Do you feel like you are having to indulge the people in your life? Do you get tired of the one who is always sacrificing and giving? Interesting points. Just looking at the word weary, and perhaps it goes a little bit deeper than what we have been taught, where it's just that you're tired. It's just that you need to take a nap and have a snack. You know, I mean, that is true. That is even biblical. In the Old Testament, we read about a prophet that had a bad day, and he needed a nap and a snack, and had a talk with the Lord, and it was good. Okay. So, I don't know. I just asked that maybe you would look at that and see if any of those other definitions of weary resonated with you. Yeah. So, that was something that we talked about last night. And I would love to hear, but okay, well, it looks like, yeah, I don't know if anyone is still here or not, but you can talk among yourselves and we'll revisit it tomorrow briefly so we can talk about it more then too. But do not let us grow weary. That is the first part of this verse. And so I would like to think on, now that we have a better grasp on what weariness even is. When you know what something is, it does make it easier to counteract it. When you know what's going on, when you have a better understanding. And so we are going to look at this first phrase tomorrow as a whole. And we're going to look at how we are not supposed to grow weary. We're not supposed to let ourselves be tired or weary. But we also now know that that doesn't just mean physically or mentally tired. It touches in our emotions as well. And so if we're going to talk about that, oh my goodness, well then that opens up a whole other thing. And it's not just that I need a nap. Maybe there is more to this let us not grow weary than what there appears to be on first glance. That is what we are going to continue talking about tomorrow. I do apologize for being so late. I usually probably will not come on here this late. But as I said, we had a little minor emergency that we had to clear up. And I was so, I wasn't going to let a day go by that we didn't have our time together. So hopefully tomorrow it will be a little bit earlier. But think on these things. Galatians 6:9. Read it. Yeah, you don't even just Google it and say, give me 5 translations of it. I mean, if you wanted homework. Uh, yeah. You didn't sign up for that. I realize. So do what you will with that. All right, guys. Hey, I am so happy that you are joining me. I am very, very excited for our next 6.5 weeks together. And I want y'all to have a great night. Sleep easy, rest easy. In case your weariness is just of the physical kind, then I pray that you get a beautiful night's sleep tonight. And we will see you tomorrow. Okay? Be blessed to be a blessing. And we'll see you then. Bye bye.